when she started this brand back in 2012. And to this day, her #1 best-selling product is this product, which I said to her, okay, let's not waste time. It is 10 Eastern. Let's lead with the best thing you do. This is called Best Skin Days. SPF 30, tinted, hydration, moisturizer, makeup, protection. It's like a 5-in-1. And this is the first product she ever made, the first product she ever launched. It's now her bestseller, and it's been an Elle and Marie Claire. Here coming out, Michelle Goff, who is, again, this almost like, it's almost like you went through your own version of mental health rehabilitation. Hi, good to see you.
Hello. Good to see you.
By the way, if you notice a British tinge, it's because she grew up in an English coal mining town and then came to America at the, like, in the tender sweet spot of like in her 20s, looking for the American dream and with beauty. You invented this as your first product for the Iris&Romeo brand. Before we get too carried away, would you help us choose a shade? There are 12.
That's
and
right.
It's real simple. Go for it.
Really simple. I don't want anybody to get hung up on choosing a shade because this is a super flexible formula. Shade 1, this is for the fairest porcelain skin tones, and this is ladies who are porcelain with a cool undertone. Shade 2 is light skin tone with a neutral undertone. Shade 3 is light skin tone also, but with a slightly warm yellowish undertone. Shade 4 is my shade, so that is light with a neutral undertone. Shade 5 is light medium with a slight warm golden undertone.
Now the next shades are all in the medium family, like hardcore medium. 6 is?
Shade 6 is a medium skin tone with golden undertones.
And then look at the whole bottom row. We'll revisit this shade chart in a little bit so you can find your shade. But we get into the more olive, the deeper, the richer. Okay, so you've got to see the consistency here. Chantal, who is in what shade, my dear?
She is in shade 5.
Shade 5, okay, so she's in the light medium with neutral undertones. It is so crazy. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to drag you over here. You're like, oh dear, we're only 5 minutes in and she's already going rogue. Look at how this comes. So you have to start there if you could. With a spatula in a glass jar. This is a tinted moisturizer, but those normally squirt out of a tube.
Yes.
And yours is skincare first.
Yes. This is like a luxurious moisturizer. So this is not like a texture you've ever seen before. Oh. It's super hydrating, super luxurious. It's really yummy on the skin. It is a whipped tinted moisturizer. So you're used to seeing, you know, just regular tinted moisturizers. This one has a very special texture.
Okay, so let's talk about that. It is whipped. You see it in the jar. It's crazy lightweight. And I know the passion for you when you built this brand was, yes, it had to be clean and cruelty-free, but also it had to be actually skincare first with makeup benefits later. So this is your coverage, your hydration and skincare, and SPF 30 chemical-free protection. What are the ingredients as we look at the dewy, glowy, like your version of a foundation on Chantal?
Yes, so this is loaded with hydration. First ingredient is sodium hyaluronate, which is a form of hyaluronic acid with a smaller molecular weight that really hydrates the skin at deep levels. It also has vitamin C. It has rose, damascena complex. These are antioxidants that are going to really help juicy skin plumpness into your face. So
sodium hyaluronate, that's the big thing because that's how your skin gets like juicy and plumpy.
Yes.
Bulgarian rose.
Bulgarian rose is the most expensive rose oil in the world. This is a really lovely, it has a slight tint as well, but it's not very scented. It's just really fresh and clean. It smells very, very clean. It smells so good and yummy.
And then remember, we're cruelty and clean.
Yes.
So there is a litany of things that are not in her formulas. Even her packaging is considered like, I'm blanking on the word.
Sustainable.
Thank you.
Sustainable.
Okay. So it's SPF 30, but nano-free, chemical-free. Again, we're gonna show the shade chart so you guys can, now that we have at least dove in a bit to this.
Look how rich and hydrating and juicy that is. Who doesn't want to put that on their skin? It's like a really rich moisturizer. That's how it starts. And then, of course, for me, I use it to replace 3 things in my routine. It replaces my makeup. This is foundation. It replaces my makeup. It replaces my skincare and my SPF all in one.
200 out the door. Okay, so it was in Marie Claire, and this is the bestseller in her Lazy Gal's Guide to Makeup and Skincare as you age over 50, 60, and 70. We're choosing a shade. They're all obviously clean, so they're very, very forgiving. 4 and 5 are very popular. Start me at 1 and whiz me through.
Yes, so shade 1, porcelain skin tones. Shade 2, light with a neutral undertone. Shade 3, light with a warm undertone. For my shade, that's a neutral light shade. Shade 5, light medium with a little bit of warmth. Shade 6 is your golden skin, medium skin tones. Shade 7, olive undertone. If you have an olive undertone and you're medium, that's shade 7. Shade 8 is deep, peachy, warm undertone. Shade 9 is a neutral undertone in a deep shade. Shade 10 is into our deeper shades, the final 3. So this is going to have a golden, warm undertone. Shade 11 is neutral, and 12 is also warm.
If it's helpful to know, I'm a 6, but I can also wear a 7. Also, if it's helpful to know, shade 10, 11, and 12, we have fewer than 100 to go around. Okay, so Stacy is in what shade? 9. She's in a 9, so that's a medium deep with warm neutral undertone.
Yeah, and look how pretty that is on her skin. So this is really light to medium coverage. Stacy, you can see that just looks natural. It doesn't sink into her lines and wrinkles. That's the thing I cared about most when I started this brand, is that it worked for my skin, women over 50, and it looked really good on our skin and plumped up the skin, made it super juicy. And this replaces 3 things in my routine. So it takes me 3 minutes to get ready in the morning. All of our products are multitasking, super easy to use, like impossible to mess up.
Look at this. So I'm gonna just show you, because a little goes a long way, and it's amazing on the skin and for the skin. Okay, now would be a good time, Michelle, because we showed a little bit of your story at the top.
Yeah.
But I've got to believe, living with a herd of free roaming horses in the Northern California wine country during your eat, pray, love journey to like find your juju again, surely had to have led to you realizing, well, I'm not going to take a makeup bag with me everywhere I go, because I've just reconnected with my inner self, and that means I'm beautiful. I don't need this entire mask. So explain then how this was the first product you launched.
Yeah, because that journey was about simplifying. It was about paring down everything in my life. And so I wanted a very simple routine to get ready. So this, as I said, replaces your makeup, your skincare, SPF all in one. So that is a one and done, out the door. But I don't want a lot of coverage, but I want to look really pulled together and really fresh and healthy and glowy and dewy. So this is taking that whole concept of living more simply, more pared down. Who has time for 10-step routines anyway?
I totally agree. And it's funny because you worked in the beauty industry hardcore. By the way, Jeannie's in what shade of this?
8.
Thank you. Which 8 is a medium deep with neutral undertones. And so, you know, in the true corporate beauty industry, you know, there's a million steps and a million products that we all need, and the beauty bag gets bigger and bulgier and heavier, and it's like oppressive to keep up. I love the simplicity of your mission, because it really is like an eat, pray, love. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just simplify. Don't overdo it. Don't have 10 steps. It's actually not even good for your skin to have that many steps. It ends up destroying your barrier. So you want to keep it really simple, really easy, one step out the door, but you want really healthy, nutritious skincare ingredients in your formulas. And that's what this is. This is going to do your skin good instantly. It's going to give you that instant glowy gorgeousness. And then over time, it's also going to work to help with your skin as well.
600 gone, perfect for summer. Perfect for hot, sweaty season when
Yes.
you already don't want to wear a lot of makeup, but of a woman of a certain age knows she needs some coverage and foundation purpose, but doesn't really want to be wearing chemical-rich foundations when everything's melting off and into her pores anyway.
No.
It's a whipped souffle. It's this incredible water light, powered by vitamin
how
C,
pretty.
brightening, E for soothing, Bulgarian rose complex, hyaluronic plumping acid. So the bounce to the skin comes back.
Bouncy skin. That's what we all want. You lose your
Yes.
bounce as you get older. It starts to look a little dry, a little dehydrated, and you lose the elasticity. We all want bounce.
And then, by the
right?
way, can you explain the SPF story? Because you have several SPF cocktails or products in the show.
Yep.
And it's a really big concept that many of us are still skipping.
Yes.
And this is
no.
an all-in-one.
If there's one thing you should never skip, it's your SPF. Your SPF is what is going to help you the most out of all of your ingredients for your anti-aging story. So protect yourself from the sun, whatever you do. This is mineral sunscreen, so it's physical sunscreen. It sits on the surface of your skin, unlike chemical sunscreen that goes into the skin. So it's really good for sensitive skin. If you get redness or you get very sensitive using sunscreens, this is mineral. It's non-nano, so it's not nano, which means it will not go into the skin. It's going to sit on the surface. If you do one thing on the daily to protect your skin and take care of your skin, make it be SPF. Please make it be SPF. That's kind of part of my mission. We put SPF into a lot of our products. And look at that. Isn't that juicy and gorgeous? Who
It
doesn't want to
looks
put
like
that
a
on their
cafe latte pudding, but it's
Right?
actually skincare.
Yes.
But it's actually your tint and coverage.
Yes.
But it's all of these things, your sun protection, but notice there's no like weird, nasty white cast.
No.
It's all of the jars are frosted glass pots because it's sustainable packaging.
Yes.
And then dewy coverage, because what you don't probably realize is as we age and we lose the color in our face and we lose the collagen and we lose the bounce, and then the skin becomes flat and ashy, so it doesn't want to reflect light. So the dewy coverage is
Yes.
actually key, because now the joy and the youth comes back to your skin.
And that's the modern way to hide imperfections anyway. You know, you don't want to add coverage. People think that you need to add more. But no, actually what you want, and what these products all have, and especially Best Skin Days, is a pigment, a weightless pigment that reflects light. And reflecting light is the way to cover imperfections now. You want to reflect the light off your skin. So people are going to look at the light in your face. They're going to look at the glowiness of your face. They're not going to look at the makeup because you can't even see it. It's actually seamless. So that's the way to cover imperfections now.
Because I know you're going to tell it better than I ever could, and I know you're going to tell it with a whole lot of emotion, because it
Don't
was.
make me cry.
it
Please
was
don't
what
make me cry.
Got you here. To us, you Iris&Romeo, I mean, it's a very limited distribution brand and a beautiful, clean, indie brand. So how did Michelle Goff get here?
Get to QVC or
Well,
get...
no, I mean, just like, it's 2012 that you started the brand.
Yes.
That's...
No, 2012 I left my
Or
career.
I mean, that's what I meant. The 2012,
Yes.
you left the big beauty career.
That's right.
And
I
you
was
had it
burned out.
made. You had
I
your
had it
dream
made.
job, everything.
I had it made. I had a great salary. I had a great position, and I was burned out. Like, we as women, we lose ourselves so much inside of careers and work and families, and we wake up one day and we're like, how do we get here? And I was burned out, and I didn't love many things in the industry. There was a lack of inclusivity, lack of sustainability, and nobody was talking to women my age and formulating products for my skin,
Hallelujah.
right? So I was like, this isn't for me anymore. And then I met Romeo, and he, like me, was burned out from his career on the track, and we needed a new purpose. And so I rescued this giant racehorse. I didn't know anything about horses.
You never grew up with
I
horses.
was
You
never
weren't
a horsey girl.
terrified of this massive 2,000-pound beast?
No, I loved him. He was so gorgeous. I loved him. So I rescued him. I bought an old trailer, hooked it up to the back of my Jeep, and headed north from Los Angeles to Northern California, where my girlfriend had a farm and she rescued a herd of 30 horses. They lived like a wild herd on the land. And Romeo had never lived outside of a box. So I turned him out to go live with the herd, and I spent the next year living on the land with the herd, shoveling hay, baling, lifting poop, lots and lots of poop. And just really, this I call the journey back to myself, because I had lost myself. And I think sometimes, you know, we need to just take a pause. And Iris and Romeo was born from that journey, because this was me